Hare Krishna. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namane. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gaurvani Pracharane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschati Deshatarane. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Welcome everyone. So, one last time in this series, let's read the verses of the 8th chapter of the 10th canto. We'll read the whole chapter today and then we'll start the discussion. Shri Shukha Uvacha Gargah Purohito Rajan Yadunam Sumahatapa Vrajam Jagamanandasya Vasudeva Prachoditah Tam Drushtva Paramapritaha Pratyuthaya Kritanjalihi आनर्चाधोक्षजधिया प्रणिपातपुरःसरं सूपविष्टं कृतातिथ्यं गिरासूनृतया मुनिं नन्दयित्वा ब्रवीद्ब्रह्मन् पूर्णस्य करवाम किं महद्विचलनं नृणां गृहीणां दीनचेतसां निःश्रेयसाय भगवन् कल्पते नान्यथा क्वचित् ज्योतिषामयनं साक्षाद्यत्तज्ञानमतीन्द्रियं प्रणीतं भवता येन पुमान् वेदपरावरम् त्वं हि ब्रह्मविदां श्रेष्ठः संस्कारान् कर्तुमर्हसि बालयोरनयो नृणां जन्मना ब्राह्मणो गुरुः श्रीगर्ग उवाच यदूनामहमाचार्यख्यातश्च भुवि सर्वदा सुतं मया संस्कृतं ते मन्यते देवकीसुतं कंसपापमतिसख्यं तव चानकदुन्दुभे देवक्या अष्टमो गर्भो न स्त्री भवितुमर्हति इति सञ्चिन्तयन् श्रुत्वा देवक्यादारिका वचः अपि हन्ता गता शङ्कस्तर्हि तन्नो नयो भवेत् श्रीनन्द उवाच अरक्षितोऽस्मिन् रहसि मामकैरपि गोव्रजे कुरु द्विजातिसंस्कारं स्वस्तिवाचनपूर्वकं श्रीशुक उवाच एवं सम्प्रार्थितो विप्रस्वचिकीर्षितमेव तत् चकार नामकरणं गूढो रहसि बालयोः श्रीगर्ग उवाच अयं हि रोहिणीपुत्रो रमयन् सुहृदो गुणैः आख्यास्यते राम इति बलाधिक्यात् बलं विदु यदूनाम पृथक् भावात् संकर्षणमुशन्त्यपि आसन्वर्णात्रयो ह्यस्य गृह्णतोऽनुयुगं तनु शुक्लो रक्तस्तथा पीत इदानीं कृष्णतां गतः प्रागयं वसुदेवस्य क्वचिज्जातस्तवात्मजः वासुदेव इति श्रीमानभिज्ञा सम्प्रचक्षते बहूनि सन्ति नामानि रूपाणि च सुतस्य ते गुणकर्माणुरूपाणि तान्यहं वेदनो जना एष वः श्रेय आधास्यद् गोपगोकुलनन्दनः अनेन सर्वदुर्गाणि यूयं मञ्जस्तरिष्यथ पुराणेन व्रजपते साधवो दस्युपीडिता अराजके रक्ष्यमाणा जिज्ञुर्दस्यून् समेधिता य एतस्मिन् महाभागा प्रीतिं कुर्वन्ति मानवा नारयोऽभिभवन्त्येतान् विष्णुपक्षानिवासुरा तस्मान्नन्दात्मजोऽयं ते नारायणसमो गुणैः श्रिया कीर्त्यानुभावेन गोपायस्व समाहितः श्रीशुक उवाच इत्यात्मानं समादिश्य गर्गे च स्वगृहं गते नन्दप्रमुदितो मेने आत्मानं पूर्णमाशिषां कालेन व्रजताल्पेन गोकुले रामकेशवौ जानुभ्यां सह पाणिभ्यां रिङ्गमाणौ विजह्रतु तावङ्घ्रियुग्ममनुकृष्य सरीसृपन्तौ घोषप्रघोषरुचिरं व्रजकर्दमेषु तन्नादृष्टमनसावनुसृत्य लोकं मुग्धप्रभीतवतु पेयतुरन्ति मात्रोः तन्मातरौ निजसुतौ गृणया स्नुवन्त्यौ पङ्काङ्गरागरुचिरा उपगृह्य दोर्भ्यां दत्त्वास्तनं प्रपिबतोः स्म मुखं निरीक्ष्य मुग्धस्मिताल्पदशनं ययतु प्रमोदम् यर्ह्यङ्गनादर्शनीयकुमारलीलावन्तर्व्रजे तदबला प्रगृहीतपुच्छैः वत्सैरितस्तत उभावनुकृष्यमाणौ प्रेक्षन्त्य उज्झितगृहा जहृषो हसन्त्यः शृङ्गग्निदंश्यसि च द्विजकण्ठकेभ्यः क्रीडापरावतिचलौ स्वसुतौ निषेद्धुं गृह्याणि कर्तुमपि यत्र न तज्जनन्यो शेकात आपतुरलं मनसो नवस्ताम् कालेनाल्पेन राजर्षे रामकृष्णश्च गोकुले अघृष्टजानुभिः पद्भिः विचक्रमतुरञ्जसा ततस्तु भगवान् कृष्णो वयस्यै व्रजबालकै सह रामो व्रजस्त्रीणां चिक्रीडे जनयन्मुदम् कृष्णस्य गोप्यो रुचिरं वीक्ष्य कौमारचापलं शृण्वन्त्या किल तन्मातुः इति होचु समागता वत्सान्मुञ्चन् क्वचिदसमये क्रोशसञ्जातहासः स्तेयं स्वाद्वत्यथ दधिपय कल्पितैस्तेययोगै मर्कान् भोक्ष्यन् विभजति स चेन्नातिभाण्डं भिनत्ति द्रव्यालाभे स गृहकुपितो यात्युपक्रोश्यतोकान् हस्ताग्राह्ये रचयति विधिं पीठको लोकलाध्यैष छिद्रं यन्तर्निहितवयुना शिख्यभाण्डेषु तद्वित् ध्वान्तागारे धृतमणिगणं स्वाङ्गमर्थप्रदीपं काले गोप्यो यर्हि गृहकृत्येषु सुव्यग्रचित्ता एवं धार्ष्ट्यान्युषति कुरुते मेहनादिनिवास्तो स्तेयोपाये विरचितकृते सुप्रतीको यथास्ते इत्थं स्त्रीभिः सभयनयन श्रीमुखालोकिनीभिर्व्याख्यातार्था प्रहसितमुखी न ह्युपालब्धुमैच्छत् एकदा क्रीडमानास्ते रामाध्या गोपदारका कृष्णो मृदं भक्षितवान् इति मात्रे न्यवेदयन् सा गृहीत्वा करे कृष्णम् उपालभ्य हितैषिणी यशोदा भयसम्भ्रान्तः प्रेक्षणाक्षम् अभाषत कस्मान्मृदं मदान्तात्मन् भवान् भक्षितवान् रहः वदन्ति तावकाह्येते कुमारास्ते ग्रजोऽप्ययं नाहं भक्षितवानम्ब सर्वे मिथ्याभिसंशिनः यदि सत्यगिरस्तर्हि समक्षं पश्य मे मुखम् याद्येवं तर्हि व्यादेहीत्युक्तः स भगवान् हरिः व्यादत्ता व्याहतैश्वर्यक्रीडामनुजबालक सा तत्र ददृशे विश्वं जगत्स्तास्नु चखं दिश स अद्रिद्वीप अब्धि भूगोलं स वायु अग्नि इन्दुतारकं ज्योतिश्चक्रं जलं तेजो नभस्वान् वियदेव च वैकारिकाणि इन्द्रियाणि मनो मात्रा गुणास्त्रय एतद्विचित्रं सहजीवकाल स्वभाव कर्माशय लिङ्गभेदं सूनोस्तनौ वीक्ष्य विदारितास्ये व्रजं सहात्मानमवापशङ्काम् किं स्वप्न एतत् उत देवमाया किं वा मदीयो बत बुद्धिमोह अथो अमुष्यैव ममार्भकस्य यः कश्चनोत्पत्तिक आत्मयोग अथो यथावन्न वितर्कगोचरं चेतो मनः कर्म वचो विरञ्जसा यदाश्रयं येन यतः प्रतीयते सुदुर्विभाव्यं प्रणतास्मि तत्पदम् अहं ममासौ पतिरेष मे सुतो व्रजेश्वरस्याखिलवित्तपासति गोप्यश्च गोपा सह गोधनाश्च मे यन्माययेत्थं कुमती स मे गति इत्थं विदिततत्त्वायां गोपिकायां स ईश्वरः वैष्णवीं व्यतनोन्मायां पुत्रस्नेहमयीं विभु सद्यो नष्टस्मृतिर्गोपी सारोप्यारोहमात्मजं प्रवृद्धस्नेह कलिल हृदयासीत् यथा पुरा त्रय्या चोपनिषद्भिश्च साङ्ख्ययोगैश्च सात्वतैः उपगीयमानमाहात्म्यं हरिं सामान्यतात्मजम् श्रीराजोवाच नन्दः किम् अकरोत् ब्रह्मन् श्रेय एवं महोदयं यशोदा च महाभागा पपौ यस्यास्तनं हरिः पितरौ नान्वविन्देतां कृष्णोदारार्भके हितं गायन्त्यद्यापि कवयो यल्लोकशमलापहम् श्रीशुक उवाच द्रोणो वसूनां प्रवरो धरया भार्यया सह करिष्यमाण आदेशान् ब्रह्मणस्तम् उवाचः जातयो नौ महादेवे भुवि विश्वेश्वरे हरौ भक्ति स्यात् परमालोके ययाञ्जो दुर्गतिं तरेत् अस्तु इति उक्तः स भगवान् व्रजे द्रोणो महायशा जज्ञे नन्द इति ख्यातो यशोदासाधराभवत् ततो भक्ति भगवती पुत्रीभूते जनार्दने दम्पत्यो नितरामासीत् गोपगोपीषु भारत कृष्णो ब्रह्मण आदेशं सत्यं कर्तुं व्रजे विभो सह रामो वसंश्चक्रे तेषां प्रीतिं स्वलीलया वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Welcome everyone. Hare Krishna. So in this chapter, the 8th chapter of the 10th canto, we saw wonderful sections in the last 34 days. We saw, to start with, in Sri Shukdev Goswami's narration, the appearance of Gargacharya. We saw how Gargacharya, as a wonderful, wonderful, responsible devotee, performed service between Vasudev and Nanda Maharaj, teaching all of us how when there's opportunity to serve, one should serve with intelligence. Gargacharya kept the secrets and did the service and maintained sensitivity between the families. Even when he arrived, we saw Nanda Maharaj, Supavishtam Kratatityam. He got up from his place, folded his palms, offered his obeisances, and very humbly welcomed Gargacharya, teaching all of us this principle that we may have Kṛṣṇa in our lap, and still that doesn't give us any reason to be proud. Nanda Maharaj is teaching us humility is the main receptacle to receive the nectar of mercy from great souls. Gargacharya is thinking Nanda Maharaj is a great soul. Nanda Maharaj is thinking Gargacharya is the great soul. This teaches us the principle of mutual Vaishnav etiquette, respect, and service. Nanda Maharaj glorifies Gargacharya befittingly as he who is the founder for astrology and requests him if he could name Sri Kṛṣṇa. Gargacharya through this pastime and Nanda Maharaj through this pastime, they both teach us that when we receive the Kṛṣṇa mantra, we should receive it from a guru in a secretive place. The greatest mantra is the Kṛṣṇa mantra, and we cannot read it in a notebook. We cannot read it in a textbook. We cannot read it in a Shastric book. We have to receive it from a guru. So Nanda Maharaj had the form, but he still requested the name, teaching us that even if the form appears before you, still pick the name. Because when the name is on your side, the form, the qualities, the pastimes, the abode, the attributes, the service, everything showers their mercy. In the Ramayana, we see Surpanakha. She had the form, but she did not have the name of Ram. And on the other hand, we have Shabari, who had the name which caused the form to appear. So one may have the form, but unless one has identity with the name, the relationship with the name of the Lord, there is no fructification of complete sweetness. Nanda Maharaj had the form of Kṛṣṇa, still requested the name of Kṛṣṇa. This name of Kṛṣṇa is the greatest treasure one can have in this world. Kṛṣṇa Naam. साधु संगे कृष्ण नाम ei matra chai, sansare chinite aro kono bastu nai. One should only aspire the association of great souls and taste for chanting the holy name. What else is there in this world? So Nanda Maharaj welcomed Gargacharya, who is the Vaishnav, and requested Hari Katha, Hari Naam from him. Then Gargacharya took this as a wonderful opportunity to speak about Krishna. There was Krishna Katha Bodhayanta Parasparam between the two. Gargacharya started speaking about Shukla Rakta Tatha Pita Idanim Krishna Tamgata Prak Ayam Vasudevasya Kvachit Jata Tavatmaja, teaching us that Hari Katha and Hari Kirtan go hand in hand, because he named Krishna, which was the Kirtan, but he also spoke about the Tattva of Krishna, which is the Katha. Katha and Kirtan both have to go hand in hand. If there is no Krishna Katha, then the Kirtan in no time will turn into music. One will be more interested in the raga, in the melody, the music, the instruments, etc. But if the Kirtan is not there, the Katha is there but the Kirtan is not there, then one will not realize the principles. One may have Bhakti Shastri and Bhakti Vaibhav degrees at home, and one may know a lot of shlokas, and one may read a lot of text, but practically to realize that in our heart, we need Krishna Nam. Krishna Nam is very needed. Krishna Kirtan is very important. So you can say Krishna Kirtan is Krishna, and Krishna Katha is Sri Radharani. Because by hearing Krishna Katha, one falls in love with Krishna. So by the mercy of Radharani, one will have opportunity to get fonder in affection with and in service with Krishna. So Krishna Katha is like Radharani and Krishna Kirtan is Krishna. So Radha and Krishna must be kept together. This is why before any class, Mangalacharana is performed. Because when you perform Mangalacharana, there is utterance of the holy name. We chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, we glorify Guru, Granthera Arambha Kori Mangalacharan, Hari Guru Vaishnava Tinera Smaran, Tinera Smarana Hoy Bigna Vinashan, Anayase Hoy Nije Banchita Puran. Chaitanya Charitamrita describes in the start of a book or start of a class, start of any good project, Krishna conscious service, one must always do Kirtan. Remember Guru, remember Vaishnavas, and remember Sri Krishna. So here Gargacharya Nanda Maharaj did Kirtan. They named Krishna and also did Krishna Katha, the identity, the past and the future of Krishna. One very important point Gargacharya mentions, that Ya etasmin mahabhaga pritim kurvanti manava. Among all human beings, those who develop love and affection for this child, they become most fortunate. So that's the tagline for us. We have to take that to our heart, that Krishna is on the side of those who love him, and those who love him are most fortunate. So we should develop in our life, the greatest aim should be to develop love for Krishna. Time is too short, time is ticking, and the goal is too lofty. One very important point to remember, we have two coverings. We are the soul and we have two coverings. We have the mind and we have this body, right? Two coverings. The external covering is given so that the internal covering can be purified. Let's repeat that again. The external covering is given so that the internal covering can be purified. Our internal covering, so we are the soul, and the first covering is the mind, the subtle body, and the second covering is the body that we see. That mind inside is extremely contaminated with all thoughts, words, actions, remembrances, past unfulfilled desires. They're all there in the mind. So this body is given so that we can serve Krishna through the senses and clean that mind. That is why this body is given. Taking the right choices by chanting, by reading, by hearing, mind becomes purified. Better mind, better body next life. Mind is completely purified, no more body next life. This is the condition. But what do? Instead of using the external to purify the internal, we contaminate the internal and create a worst external next life. Instead of using the body to purify the mind, we contaminate the mind with more dirty thoughts, with more dirty impressions. Everything that we see on our phone, if there is a vulgar joke, we may look at a video, a vulgar image or a vulgar joke, and we may giggle in private. But that one impression will take many lifetimes to get washed off from the mind. And the more we indulge in any titillation for the mind, temporary, it may be 1 minute, it may be 2 minutes, but that impression remains in the mind. That impression remains in the mind. The desire inside to hear those jokes or to talk those topics or see those vision gets deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. And next life, instead of a human form, One may get a lower species where those unfulfilled desires can be fulfilled. So life is too short. Time is limited. The goal is too lofty. Pritim kurvanti manava, to attain love for Krishna. Let's use the external to clean the mind, the internal, not contaminate the internal to receive a lower external future, lower birth. Gargacharya mentions and names Krishna, goes back to Mathura. Now it describes Krishna's crawling pastimes, Krishna's walking pastimes, Krishna's running pastimes, Krishna's butter stealing pastimes. This 1 month, Sri Surdas ji was the man of the series. He made his presence with very beautiful songs, with very beautiful compositions. All our acharyas, Srila Prabhupada's purports, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Srila Sanatan Goswami, Srila Jiva Goswami, Srila Sridhar Swami, Sri Baladev Vidya Bhushan, all wonderful acharyas who helped us understand and get fonder in affection and affinity towards these pastimes, attracting our hearts to wonderful details of Krishna Leela. We offer our heartfelt gratitude to all of them. We saw so many beautiful pastimes, whether it was Krishna in the cradle and Mother Yashoda's putting Krishna to sleep, or whether it was Krishna who was looking at his own reflection in a beautiful pillar and thinking it was someone else, or it was Krishna looking at the birds and trying to flap his wings, or it was Krishna who, as he started to crawl, he held the tail of the calves, and multiple calves at the same time, sometimes multiple tails, or sometimes he would hold on and leave and again hold on to the same calf or newer calves, teaching all of us this principle. If we can become as innocent and as sweet and devotional like those calves in Vrindavan, we don't have to think of finding Krishna. Krishna will find us and he will hold on to us. We simply have to make our minds like Vasudev, our hearts like these calves. Then Krishna will enter the mind of Vasudev and hold on to the tail of these calves. We have to just become pure-hearted. We simply have to become sincere. We don't have to become perfect, but we simply have to aspire for sincerity. Every single day, every moment, Ayusha Kṛṣṇa ekopi na labhya suvarna kotibihi. We are constantly deciding our future birth every moment. At the time of death, there can be only one thought that can come to our mind. At the time of death, especially the time when the soul is leaving the body, you can't have multiple thoughts. We can only hold on to one thing. Only one thing. And Krishna gives us 70 years to decide what that one thing should be. Krishna gives us 70 years long human birth only for us to decide what should that 70 seconds be like. What should we think of? So let us focus as much as possible and become like these calves so Krishna can hold on to us. And then such Vaishnavas, like calves, they drag Krishna from one place to another, like Srila Prabhupada. He took Krishna from Radha Damodar to New York. Srila Prabhupada is like a calf and Krishna held on to him through the Jaladuta. And wherever this calf ran, Krishna was dragging himself with this calf happily through the pasture grounds of Vrindavan. The calf never left Vrindavan. The calf may have gone from one place to another, but in Vrindavan. Pure Vaishnavas, you can take a Brajbasi out of Vrindavan, but you can never take the Vrindavan out of a Brajbasi. So even when Srila Prabhupada, like the calf, went from Radha Damodar to New York, he still remained in Vrindavan and he had Krishna with him and he could give that Krishna to anyone who approached him. Then we saw Vatsan Munchan Kvachida Samaye Krosha Sanjata Hasa. Krishna, as he started stealing butter, he would release all the calves prematurely so that they would go and drink the milk of their mothers. And Sri Vallabhacharya says, what is wrong in this? Krishna is Mukunda who gives liberation when we are bound. Karmani nirdahati kintu cha bhakti bhajam. We are all bound in the shackles of karma and Krishna liberates us. When Vasudev Maharaj was shackled just by carrying Krishna on the basket, those shackles in Mathura, the prison house, they broke. Then what is surprising when Krishna in full potency is able to liberate the calves from the bondage back to their source, their mother. So similarly, Krishna comes as Sri Guru in our life, and we are like the calves. Krishna is the cow. Krishna comes as Guru in our life and releases the bondage of the threefold miseries from the calf-like existence, so that we, like the calf, can run back to Krishna, who is the cow, and drink his milk in the form of his mercy and sweetness. Krishna would break one home into another, going from one home to another, breaking pots, pinching the babies, creating mess all over, sometimes cursing the homes that may somebody die in this house, may there be poverty, may there be fire in this house. Teaching all of us, if we can make our heart like butter, if we can make our heart white like butter, if we can make our heart soft like butter, then Krishna will come and steal that butter like heart. And how does that happen? It happens by two processes. Prabhu kahe Vaishnav seva naam sankirtan, dui karo shigra bave Krishnera charan. When we chant the holy name, our heart becomes white like butter, pure. And when we serve Vaishnavas, then our heart becomes soft like butter in mutual sensitive dealings of affection. Serving the Vaishnavas makes the heart soft because the ego will be rubbed. When you chant the holy name, we can just close our door and chant, and there's no rubbing of false ego. But when we have to serve with others, when we have to cooperate with others and serve Vaishnavas, then the ego gets brushed. The diamond in us starts to shine even more because the edges, the sharp ego-like edges are polished. So by chanting the holy name, the heart gets cleansed, becomes white like butter. By serving the Vaishnavas, the heart becomes soft like butter. And by doing these two things, the son of Yashoda comes into our homes, our hearts, and steals our emotions. He steals our consciousness, steals our mind, which is all like butter. But this process is not straightforward. There may be some breaking of pots. There may be some curse words. There may be some babies who are pinched. There may be some mess created, in the sense to bring us to Him. Sometimes Krishna has to alter a few pieces in our life. Our life is like a puzzle. And to make a beautiful face in that puzzle, some pieces have to be moved. And we have to be ready for that. The good thing is, Krishna will never give us any trouble, any circumstantial reversal more than what we can take. He will never give. If we are in second grade, the test paper will be, the questions will be of second grade. He's never going to test us with 10th grade or 12th grade questions. So depending on the standard of our advancement, Krishna will put tests accordingly. Yasyaham anugrihnami harishetad dhanam shanai. Dhanam cha manam cha tathendriyani pranam cha rutva mama sarvameva. Akinchani kritya padashritam vya karoti bhikshum patigeha hinam. Sometimes there may be reversals in the form of some defaming. There may be some ill fame. There may be reversals in the form of health crisis, financial crisis. There may be some mental anguish. But through all of this, we must have faith. The gopis, on the pretext of complaining, spoke about Krishna. But we, on the pretext of speaking about Krishna, should not complain. The other way. We shouldn't say, I'm chanting, why do bad things happen to me? I'm speaking Hari Katha, why do bad things happen to me? No. The gopis never complained. That was external. Internally, even when their pots were broken, the kids were pinched, houses were not set on fire, but Krishna was saying, may there be fire in this house. But still they were praying, may Krishna come in my life. This is yatha tatha va vidadhatu lampato mat prananatastu sa evanapara. Krishna, whatever may happen in my life, even if my pots break, even if there's mess in my life, even if my babies are pinched, may you come, break into my house, and steal the butter of my heart, my consciousness. Kshauni patitvam athva ekamakinchanatvam nityam dadasi bahumanam athapamanam vaikunthavasam athava narake nivasam ha vasudeva mama nasti gatistvadanya. Oh Krishna, you can make me a king or you can make me a pauper. You can make me very famous or you can make me less famous. You can make me a resident of Vaikuntha or you can make me a resident of Naraka. No problem, my dear Lord. Just promise me one thing, that may I never forget you. This unconditional surrender is needed. And when that comes into the heart, when that comes into the heart, the person can go through any reversal. His Holiness Bhakti Charu Maharaj would give a very beautiful example to illustrate this point. He would say that sometimes the father or the mother may play with their child, and they will take the child and toss the child and catch the child and again play with the child. When the first time this happened, the child may feel, how come my own father threw me up in the air? Because the child is innocent and there's no past experience. But Maharaj said, the father will, or the mother, the parents will only play with the child as tall or as high as the child can handle. They're not going to throw the child like 150 feet in the sky. They're not going to do that. So similarly, Kṛṣṇa, even if he makes us uncomfortable, he will only give us the trouble that we can handle. One. And second, when we come down, the same Father who put us in that situation is the one who's holding us. When we go through dire emergency, Kṛṣṇa holds on to us. And now this is so interesting that the kid starts loving this. Now when the father holds him, the kid starts to kick his leg and say, one more, once more, once more. This is like Queen Kunti, where she says, Vipada santuta shashvat tatra tatra jagadguru bhavato darshanam yatsyat apunar bhava darshanam. I went through so many reversals, but my dear Lord, all through that, you were there with me. Let there be more and more calamity, no problem, provided you are there with us. We saw many beautiful pastimes where Kṛṣṇa was saying it is the Padmaragamani, it is the red coral or the red ruby bangle which is burning my hand, or whether first time stealing and seeing his own reflection and trying to bribe his own reflection by saying, please don't tell Maya, this is my first time, I promise I will never steal again. And trying to feed his own reflection. We saw such sweet, beautiful, childlike pastimes. Tokan Charitam Adbhutam. These pastimes of Kṛṣṇa, these baby pastimes are astonishing. And the reason we hear them, and remember them is so that next time we see children in this world, we remember Kṛṣṇa. Not that when we hear about Kṛṣṇa, we remember our child. The purpose of Hari Katha is so that we forget that we are residents of this world. His Holiness Sachinandan Maharaj once said something very amazing. He said, this is not our home. This world is a guest house. We are here only for a few days. And after that, we have to return back to our home. So let's not think of the spiritual world as some imaginary place beyond the sky and this being our permanent home. No. Here we are visitors. This is a guest house. This is like a little Airbnb that we are there for a few days. And we have to behave ourselves, because if we break things or if we spoil things, then we'll get a big hefty bill after we leave. They're not going to give us refund, right? They're going to charge us, and that is karma. So we have to keep things clean. We have to behave ourselves according to the rules and understand I don't have to, even if the Airbnb is very big, I don't have to be attached to it because it's not mine. So His Holiness Sachinandan Maharaj said, we should live in this world, but not of this world. Our feet should be in this ground, this world, but the eyes must be in the sky. Kṛṣṇa Leela. So even when we see children in this world, that should be stimulant. That should be uddipan for us to remember Kṛṣṇa. So these pastimes must be read again and again and again. Chapter 8 may end today as far as our Kartik discussion is concerned. But my request is, please memorize this chapter, read the verses of this chapter, so that wherever we are, we can chant these verses and not just memorizing these verses, but knowing the meaning, because we have studied them. So knowing the meaning. So when we memorize, wherever we may be in a shopping mall, we may be in a marketplace, we may be in the car, we may be in the kitchen, we may be in the restroom, wherever we may be, we can chant these verses and immediately the mind gets attached to Kṛṣṇa, like iron filings to a magnet. That is the purpose of Srimad Bhagavatam. The purpose of Srimad Bhagavatam is Hana muncha kada chinmam premna ritkantayos pura. We may not be able to carry Srimad Bhagavatam books everywhere, but if we can memorize these verses, wherever we go, we can chant these verses and Bhagavatam lives in us. Then after that, we saw the Mrid Bhakshan Leela started in the chapter, where we saw Krishna ate dirt, teaching all of us this principle that what is dirt? Dirt is Trinadapi Sunichena. It is more humble than a blade of grass. Because the grass is there, but what is more fallen than a grass is mud. So Krishna is the greatest, but he is sitting on his knees to accept the mud, which is more fallen than blade of grass, teaching us Trinadapi Sunishena Taroriva Sahishnuna Amanina Manadina Kirtaniya Sadahari. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught this. But Krishna prepared for this instruction right in Krishna Leela. Because apani na kaila dharma shikhai na jai. Unless we are humble than a blade of grass, how can you give instruction? So Krishna first became humble than a blade of grass by accepting mud, teaching us that the more higher we rise on the path of bhakti, the more humility rises in the heart and the more humble one will become, putting oneself last in the list. And Krishna practiced that, and then as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu preached that to the whole world. Also, Krishna through this pastime teaches us that we should aspire for the dust. What does dust mean? Dust means seva. When it is said, Adadana Trinam Dantair Idam Yache Puna Puna, Srimad Rupa Padam Bhojo Dhuli Syam Janma Janmani. Sri Raghunath Das Goswami Pad, he says, may I become the dust at the lotus feet of Sri Rupa Goswami. Raghunath Das Goswami is praying, may I become dust at the lotus feet of Sri Rupa Goswami. Even Narottam Das Thakur is saying, Soyam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swa Pada Antikam. When can I have proximity to the lotus feet of Rupa Goswami? What does that mean? When can I become dust? Dust means seva. Proximity to the feet. So Krishna is teaching us, I want the service of the Brajvasis. Vaishnav Seva is the way to attain Krishna. Vaishnav Seva is the way to attain Krishna. Ye me bhakta jana partha na me bhaktascha te jana mad bhaktanam cha ye bhakta te me bhakta tamamata. If somebody worships the deity in the temple, but natad bhakteshu chanyeshu tad bhakta prakrita smritaha, but doesn't respect the Vaishnavas, then that person is able to worship Krishna but not worship the devotees. On the other hand, if someone is worshipping the devotees, taking care of them, serving them, and without any strings attached, without any ulterior agenda, without any asterisks, conditions apply, serving for the pleasure of Vaishnavas, then Krishna is very pleased. This is why Giriraj Govardhan is considered to be the greatest devotee. Because Go Ganayosta Yoryat Manam Tanoti, he gives respect to those, respect means he serves those who are very dear to Krishna. He serves the friends and he serves the cows. So because Giriraj Govardhan with his body all the time, all through is serving those who are dear to Krishna, Sri Radharani through her lips announced that the greatest devotee is Govardhan because he is absorbed in Vaishnav Seva. So this is what the dust means. Krishna is accepting that dust. Also, in this regard, we can understand Krishna accepted the dust because the whole universe lives within. And all the jivas, all the demigods, they all want the dust of Vrindavan. We should understand how fortunate we are in gratitude that not every life do we get a human form. And not every life as a human form do we become a devotee. And not every life as a human form becoming a devotee do we realize or hear about Vrindavan. So now that we have human form, devotion, association, Shastra and Vrindavan, what should we do? Krishna is teaching us, don't just see the dust, accept it. That dust here represents the value, the great treasure that we have. Katha Ganam Natyam Gamanam, in Brahma Samhita it is described that Shriya Kanta Kantaha Parama Purusha Kalpataravo Dhruma Bhumi Chintamani. The dust represents treasure. So don't just see the treasure in the books. Don't just see the treasure in Harikatha. Accept it, practice it, imbibe it. Krishna is teaching us through that dust. Then moving ahead, Mother Yashoda sees the whole universe in Krishna's mouth and gets baffled by what's happening in my child's mouth. She never gets bewildered by the, the vision, in the sense, even if she sees it, her love for Krishna doesn't get affected. Her love for Krishna doesn't dwindle, teaching us neither should the broken pot bewilder us, nor should the vision of the whole world bewilder us. In the sense, neither should suffering take us away from Krishna, nor should too much joy take us away from Krishna. Imagine seeing the whole universe. Who would not want to have that experience? Seeing the whole universe means sightseeing. People want to see one city, one place, right? One restaurant. But Mother Yashoda has the experience of the joy, the opulence of the whole creation, and still that doesn't take her mind away from Krishna. Even when pots are broken, she loves Krishna. Even if babies are pinched, the motherly gopis love Krishna. Even if the universe is seen, they love Krishna, teaching us that Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavi Hastini Shuni Chaiva Swapakecha Pandita Samadarshina. In joy or in distress, in seeing a cow or seeing a dog, in seeing a human or seeing a tree, may we never forget the vision of affection for God. May there never be so much joy that we forget Him, and may there never be so much suffering that we may forget Him. So at this point, another important lesson that we learnt, Srila Prabhupada taught us that when we are confused and bewildered, offer obeisances. Every day we should count how many obeisances we offer, and we should never be lazy. We see Tulsi Devi, we should offer obeisances. We see Gurudev, we should offer obeisances. We see cows, we should offer obeisances. We should not worry about what people think about us. We should offer obeisances, and we should go feed the cow, pet the cow, embrace the cow. Offer obeisances to the cow. Seek the dust from her lotus feet. Drink her milk. Serve Krishna by serving the cow. Seeing Vaishnavas, we should offer obeisances. Seeing the deities, we should offer obeisances. And in this way, we should stay healthy by offering repeated obeisances. Physical health and spiritual health. And then after that, we saw how Krishna thought, Maya has been speculating for quite some time. Whether I am God or whether she is dreaming or whether it's a spell, Krishna just closed his mouth and smiled. And Mother Yashoda picked him up, kissed him, embraced him, and even had salt and chili and so many wonderful things to ward off evil eye and black magic and bad omen, to protect Krishna from everything inauspicious, teaching all of us that initially in our life, we may be praying to Krishna for our protection, but ultimately we should come to a point where we can pray for Krishna's protection. We cannot do that in this life, in this birth, in this conditioned existence, but there should be a time. So we also gave the example in our discussion in the series, how we learn the harmonium only ultimately to play songs in it so that we can forget the saregama on the harmonium. Initially, we practice so that the fingers are in sync with the songs and the eyes. We are seeing whether it's a black key or what scale or what's the start. And then we come to a point where we can play by the ear. And there's a music, there's a melody, and we can play. And at that time, there's no calculation of whether this is the lower scale or the higher scale, or whether this is the starting note or this is the ending note. So we have to start with the understanding that Krishna is our master and we are his servant. This should be the mood. I want to serve him. I want to chant to please him. I want to serve him for his pleasure, and by his pleasure may I find joy. So this is the start. And eventually we come to a point where there is no understanding of he is God and I am his servant, but one serves spontaneously, absolutely spontaneously, without any calculation, by greed, by transcendental greed, to serve him, to please him, to find joy on his smile. We discussed yesterday on the identity of Drona and Dhara and Sutapa and Prishni and Devaki and Vasudeva and Nanda and Yashoda. This also teaches us that Nanda and Yashoda, they are eternal, but they still expanded as Drona and Dhara, only to merge back to teach all of us that we have to go through sadhana. We have to go through bhajan, like Drona and Dhara. What to speak of Drona and Dhara? Hiranyakashipu went through sadhana. Hiranyakashipu, even to become the greatest in this world, he went through sadhana. Ravana was ready to cut his head, chop off his head to please Lord Shiva. We don't have to do things like that. If not offer multiple heads like Ravana, we can offer one head, one life, in a way that we don't take another head ever, we don't take another birth. We can offer this birth to Kṛṣṇa. And this effort is what is needed. We mentioned how it is by Krishna's mercy that we attain him, but that mercy can be experienced to the degree that we are involved in sadhana. Chanting the holy name is the greatest sadhana. Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has also written this elsewhere, that all the services become fructified when the chanting of the holy name is the accompaniment. Deity worship becomes perfect when the holy name is chanted. Bhagavatam becomes perfect when Namani Anantasya Yasho Ankitani Yat, where the names of Krishna are imprinted. So, as much time as we have, we should chant. We should chant as much. You have 10 minutes, chant an extra round. We have 20 minutes, chant more. As much time we spend in three things: sleeping during the day, browsing on the phone, and talking, chit chatting. We have to reduce these three things and instead replace that by hearing, reading, and chanting. We will do ourselves so much good. We will do ourselves so much good. The time that we spend on our phone, if we can, instead of moving this way, we can move this way. Instead of moving the reels forward, we can move the beads backward. And by that, we will benefit ourselves so much. Okay, if there are no beads, use counters. If no counters, at least chant on the tongue as much as possible. We can even chant on our fingers. Krishna has given us all these different markings between our fingers only so that we can chant Gayatri, we can chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra with count, Sankhya Purvaka. This is very important. As much time as we have, Khaite Shuite Jatha Tatha Naam Lo, there is absolutely no hindrance. One can chant in the restroom. May not be with beads, but we can chant on our tongue. While bathing, we can chant. My Guru Maharaj would say, it is not water that helps us become clean in the bath. It is the mantra. Well, the water can be used to clean, but not purify. And the example he would give is that of the fish. The fish stays in the water the maximum, but it stinks the most. So this is not to be used against the principle of bathing, but it is to teach us, yes, we must bathe, but while bathing, we must chant. I remember many years ago, when in my childhood actually, back in Mumbai, we had a neighbor who was a traditional Maharashtrian. Traditional Maharashtrian. He was from Pune, and neighbor. And every morning, when I used to leave for school from my home, he would be bathing. That Prabhu, he was a little older, he was probably in his 70s, he would be bathing. And how would I know that he's bathing? Of course, first, that his bathroom light used to be on, and second, he used to loudly keep chanting. Govind, Gopal, Kṛṣṇa, Gopal, Kṛṣṇa, Gopal. He would loudly, he would sing songs, all of them having the names of Kṛṣṇa. And that's how it just became a habit to, I would be stepping out at the same time for school, and he would be bathing. And he would be loudly, and you could hear the sound of the mug. He's bathing, the water hitting the floor. He's taking water from the bucket and the water's hitting the floor, and you can hear him loudly chant. That left such an impression that even today, it's been so many years, that when I'm saying this point of chanting while bathing, reminds me of that great soul. He was not an ISKCON devotee, but a very cultured person who was chanting. He was chanting. So this culture must be revived. Whenever, as much time as we have, we should chant. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, even while feeding his devotees, he would say, Hari Bolo, Hari Bolo. So they would honor prasadam, and with every morsel, as they're honoring, in their mind they would say Hari. Of course, you can't chant while eating, but the morsel is in the mouth, and they're saying Hari here in the mind. Imagine how powerful every morsel that we are honoring, it's drenched with Harinam. Even while drinking water, we take some water and we are drinking. With every gulp, we can think of Hari, 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 Hari. That water also gets purified, and all of that anna, that food and that water will help us from within to do bhajan. Naam should be our constant companion. Kalyananam nidanam kalimala mathanam pavanam pavananam. Patheyam ya mumukshuhu. It is described for those on the path of liberation. The constant snack is the holy name. When you have a long journey to travel, you take your lunchbox with you, and we keep munching some chips or something. So for a Vaishnav who has a long journey back home, back to Godhead, our constant munching snack is the holy name. So we have to do sadhan. Drona and Dhara are teaching us that when you perform intense Tivra bhajan, then Krishna showers his mercy, and we can experience that mercy. We can experience that mercy. And this same principle brings us to the start of the 9th chapter, where Mother Yashoda, she is churning. She is very lovingly churning for Krishna. And it is described, Yani yani ha gitani tadbala charitani cha, dadhi nirmantane kale smaranti tanya gayata. Mother Yashoda till now heard so many complaints that Krishna is breaking into my house, Krishna is breaking into my house, he's eating butter, he's stealing milk products. Yashoda said, I'm going to make it so tasty now. Krishna will eat in my home, he doesn't have to go anywhere. Mother Yashoda, as she's churning, it is described, Yani Yani iha gitani. She's singing the names of Krishna. She's calling upon Krishna, teaching all of us this principle. Whatever work you may be doing with your hands, as the hands move, let the tongue move. Let the tongue move. And if we do that as we are singing, if the tongue moves, then Krishna will come searching for us. In the start of the Damodar Leela, we see Yashoda Rani did not go to find Gopal. Gopal was busy sleeping in the bedroom, like Vishnu sleeps in Yoga Nidra. And when devotees call him, he leaves his sleeping from Vaikuntha and he comes to the devotee. Similarly, Krishna came to Mother Yashoda because Mother Yashoda was churning and chanting. The interesting thing is, Mother Yashoda was not a sannyasi. Mother Yashoda was not a brahmana. Mother Yashoda was not somebody who learnt in the Gurukul. Mother Yashoda did not have so many skills and talents externally that are described or are sometimes superimposed that these are the things needed to attain the mercy of the Lord. She was a very simple-hearted, loving, affectionate cowherd woman, cowherd queen of Vrindavan. And she's teaching us. Sometimes you may be holding ropes, goodness, passion, and ignorance. Srila Prabhupada in the Bhagavad Gita, he always showed the goodness, passion, and ignorance, the three modes, sattva, rajas, tamas, as being the strings which are controlling us, just like the puppeteer controls the puppets. So we are like the puppets moved by the puppeteer, and the strings are sattva gun, rajogun, and tamogun. So Yashoda Rani is teaching us, don't complain that I have problems, I have lust, I have envy. Yes, we may be having those ropes of rajogun and tamogun. But while being in those activities, if those modes are attacking, no problem. Chant the name of Krishna. Krishna will come and he will rescue. And we see very soon Krishna stops the churning, which means Mother Yashoda had to put down those ropes of Sattvagun, Rajogun, and Tamogun. We cannot stop our conditioning. But what we can do is make sure that we chant more. By offering prayers to Krishna from the Bhagavatam, Gajendra Stuti, Kunti Stuti, Prahlad Stuti, Dhruv Stuti, so many wonderful prayers are there. By offering prayers to Krishna and chanting the holy name and serving him to the best of our ability. During this activity, During these circumstances, even if we are troubled by Sattva Gun, Rajogun, and Tamogun, sometimes we feel sleepy, sometimes we feel sluggish and lazy, sometimes we may be attacked by lust. We may be feeling lusty impulses. Our eyes may go everywhere. We may become proud. We may become envious. We may become sad seeing somebody else succeeding. No problem. Continue to serve Krishna. Continue to chant and pray. He will come. He will come. And He will make us lose our connection to those ropes. Krishna comes whenever devotees sincerely call Him. Therefore, throughout the chapter, we saw the greatness of Mother Yashoda. Now, in the concluding session, the part that we have left in today's session, let's see the reciprocation of Krishna. Yashoda Rani is great. Devotees are great, no doubt. But Krishna is Bhaktavatsal. Wherever there is a calf, the mother cow is around. The mother cow can never leave the calf alone. So if the devotees are like calf, if they are cute and innocent with their spiritual, sincere straightforwardness, then Krishna is like the cow who's always around this calf, ready to lick with kripa, with protective instinct. So many wonderful examples can be given. Let's think of the example of Jai and Vijay. Jai and Vijay get cursed. 2 on this side, 4 on that side. The 4 Kumaras curse the 2 servants, Jai and Vijay. And although the 4 Kumaras are direct sons of Brahma, Vishnu takes sides with the sevaks. He takes sides with the servants. Why? Because there is seva vritti, there is service attitude in Jai and Vijay. And even when they are cursed and they become Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha, even they become Ravana and Kumbhakarna, even when they become Shishupal and Dantavakra, 3 lives Jai and Vijay were cursed by the 4 Kumaras to become Rakshasas. For 3 lives, the Lord took 4 lives. He came as Varaha. He came as Narasimha. He came as Ram. He came as Krishna. So if devotee has to go through 3 lives, I will come 4 times. How loving is the Lord? And not just 3 lives of Jai and Vijay. The Lord comes asking for 3 steps as Vaman. And through those 3 steps, He conquers the 3 worlds. And in this pastime, He brings glory. He brings happiness to Indra. He brings happiness to Aditi. And ultimately, supreme credit to Bali Maharaj. Vaman came as a dwarf. He did everything. And who gets the credit? Bali Maharaj gets the credit. He did everything with his feet. He walked with his feet. He measured with his feet. He lifted his feet. He got Ganga in this world through his feet. He even kept his lotus feet on Bali. So the Lord was on his feet, as the saying goes. Vamana was on his feet. He was doing everything. But Bali Maharaj got all the credit for surrendering to Vaman Dev. Just like on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, Krishna kills the opponents. Krishna kills the Kauravas. And whom does He give credit to? He gives credit to Arjuna. How much did the Pandavas feel reciprocation from Krishna? Vishan Mahagne Purushad Darshanat Asat Sabhaya Vanavasar Krichatah. Whether it was the disrobing of Draupadi, Krishna was there. Whether it was the Akshay Patra story of the pot of Durvasa Muni, the pot from Surya Dev in the invitation, Prasad invitation of Durvasa Muni, Krishna was there. When the Lac palace was caught on fire, Krishna devised a plan and saved the Pandavas with an underground tunnel. Even when Bhima was poisoned, Krishna protected. Even when the descendant of the Pandavas, Parikshit Maharaj, was attacked by Ashwathama's Brahmastra, Krishna Angushtamatram, Krishna entered in the form of a thumb, in the size of a thumb, and before the embryo was burnt, he replaced and protected Parikshit Maharaj. When the Pandavas went through exile, when the Pandavas went through incognito, when the Pandavas needed protection, Krishna is their protector. Sarathya, Parashada, Sevana, Sakhya Dautya, Virasananu Stavana Pranaman, Snigdheshu Pandushu Jagat Pranatischa Vishnu, Bhaktim Kuruti Nripatish Charanara. Krishna is ready to become a peace messenger. Krishna is ready to become the chariot driver. Krishna is the night watchman. Krishna is the servant for them. Sakhya Dautya, he takes a humble position. He becomes a confidant. Krishna is there in all possible services, even in the killing of Jarasandha, Krishna plays his role. In every possible aspect, Krishna is there. Krishna is always protecting. Even when the killing of Karna took place, Krishna was instrumental. Even protecting Arjuna from in the pastime of Jayadratha, Krishna blocks and eclipses the sun through his Sudarshan Chakra. As the chariot driver, Krishna is pushing the chariot of Arjuna underground so that Arjuna can be saved. Krishna speaks the Bhagavad Gita. What is that thing that my master is not doing for his devotees? Lokasya vyasanapano danakaro dasasya kim na kshamaha. If Krishna is ready to protect the whole world, why wouldn't he come for his devotees? When Gajendra called out, it is not human species, any species, any species. One could be an eagle, Garuda. One could be a vulture, Jatayu or Sampati. One could be a bear, Jambavan. One could be like Hanuman. One could be like an elephant as Gajendra. In any species, Krishna is there. Nara napumsak nariva, jeeva charachar koi, sarva bhava bhaji kapat tyaji, moi param priya soy. In Goswami Tulsidas Ji's Ramcharitmanas, Sri Ramachandra is saying, one could be male, one could be female, or one could even be in another gender, Napumsak. One could be a eunuch, Nara Napumsak Nariva. Why did the Lord say that? Because he knew that Arjuna has to become, in his incognito pastime, Brihanala. And remembering Arjuna in the future of Dwapar Yuga, while in Treta Yuga, Sri Ramachandra said, Nara Napumsak Nariva. One could be male, female, or neuter. Jiva Charachar Koe. One could be moving, non-moving, living, non-living. Sarva Bhava Bhaji Kapat Tyaji Mohi Param Priya Soy. If one can give up hypocrisy, duplicity, and sincerely serve me, such a Vaishnava is very dear to me. Gajendra calls out, and it is described by our acharyas that Krishna did not even have a mukut on. He did not even have Angavastra on. He did not even have an asan on the back of Garuda. He did not even wear his slippers. He ran to sit on the back of Garuda. And he said, Garuda, faster, fly faster. I want to reach. And Narayana Akhila Guru Bhagavan Namaste. By the 4 syllables, Narayana, the Lord was there. He was flying faster than Garuda. Garuda was flapping his wings, manifesting Samaveda by the flapping of his wings. He was trying to keep up with the speed of his master. And before Garuda could reach, the Lord had reached there in his spirit, because Garuda was flying for his master, but his master was flying for his devotee. And between the two, because Garuda is in the mood of a servant, Dasya, his love for Vishnu is wonderful, but Vishnu's love for him is much more. Vishnu's love for Gajendra is much more than the love that Gajendra has for Vishnu. So Garuda is offering love to his master as a servant, but the master is now offering love to his servant as Vishnu to Gajendra. Prahlad calls out, the Lord breaks the pillar. Either he comes for animals or devotees in animal species, or he himself becomes an animal for his devotees. Either coming as Varahadev for Mother Earth, or coming as half man, half lion for Prahlad Maharaj, breaking a pillar and coming for one devotee. How spectacular would that be? Satyam vidhatum nija bhritya bhashitum vyaptim cha bhuteshu akhileshu chatmana adrishya tatyad bhuta rupam udvahan stambhe sabhayam namragam namanusham. The Lord breaks the pillar and comes for his devotee. For Dhruva Maharaj, the Lord appears. Just 5-year-old, 6 months of meditation, the Lord appears and tells him, ask for it and I will give you. And Dhruva says, now I don't want anything, my dear Lord. Now that I have received you, Kachan Vichinvan api divya ratnam, I have received you, I don't want anything else. The Lord is so kind. He gives Dhruva pure devotion, he gives him elevation and also fulfills all of his material desires, empowers Dhruva and makes him the king. Not just through this, the Lord also sees reversals. When Bhrigu Muni comes and kicks his chest, the Lord is ready to tolerate that. Krishna is so kind. Bhrigu kicks his chest as Mahavishnu in Vaikuntha, and Vishnu is ready to tolerate. Even when he sees Manigriv and Nalakuver go through reversals in their life by going astray, the Lord, through Narada Muni, uplifts them. With so much love for Narada Muni, in that section of the 10th canto, 10th chapter, Srimad Bhagavatam, this comes that when Manigriv, Nalakuver get cursed to become trees, and Damodar himself is bound, he himself is bound, but he looks at those trees and he remembers Narada Muni, teaching all of us this principle. We may be very fallen, we may be very sinful, we may be like Manigriv and Nalakuver floating in intoxication in this world. But Narada Muni is like our Guru. Our spiritual master appears like Narada Muni. And when Krishna sees us, like those trees were seen by Damodar, Krishna remembers our Guru, Narada Muni. And because our Gurus are pure-hearted, like Narada Muni, they are very dear to Krishna. And because we have some connection to our Guru, like Manigriv Nalakuver had some connection to Narada Muni, Krishna delivered the two trees out of love for Narada. Even when Ahalya became stone, Sri Ramachandra steps on, according to Sri Goswami Tulsidas, and makes Ahalya appear out of that stone. For Sandipani Muni, a dear devotee of Krishna, the teacher of Krishna, when his son departed, Krishna was ready to go to Yamaraj to get the dead son back. The dead son of his guru, Sandipani Muni's dead son, was got back by Krishna. Krishna is ready to go to any extent. When Nanda Maharaj was caught by the assistance of Varuna Dev, Krishna was ready to go to Varun Loka and get his father, his dear devotee, out. What is that thing that the Lord doesn't do for his devotees? Even when his devotees are found in the case of Bali Maharaj or Prahlad Maharaj or Vibhishan, doesn't matter what family we are born in, if the person is a sincere devotee, Ram is there on the side of Vibhishan, Vamana is there on the side of Bali, Narasimha is there on the side of Prahlad Maharaj. Even when somebody is as evil as Putana and approaches Krishna, Krishna uplifts, accepts the poison that we offer. What does that mean? Putana offered the milk smeared with poison. We are offering our services to Krishna which are like milk, very tasty, but our intentions are poisonous. We are serving Krishna with the desire for self-prestige. We are serving Krishna with the desire that I should be known, I should make money, I should become famous. So we may offer services to Krishna, but we may think, what's in it for me? But Krishna is so kind. He still accepts that poison that we offer, accepts that milk that we offer, and purifies us and makes us into an associate. Even when we are stuck in this world like Devaki and Vasudeva, in the prison house of this material world, Krishna is ready to free the Vasudeva and Devaki, the devotional principles in us, free us from the prison of this world. Krishna appeared not just for Devaki and Vasudeva, he appeared even for Ugrasen Maharaj, the father of Kamsa. He was imprisoned, and when Krishna killed Kamsa, he freed not just his parents, he also freed the parents of the person who hated him the most. Can you imagine that? Krishna killed Kamsa and not just freed his own parents, he also freed the father of Kamsa. That's how much Krishna loves his devotees. He loves Devaki and Vasudeva. He loves Ugrasen Maharaj. And even those who come with wicked intention, like Kamsa, like Putana, Krishna uplifts all of them. We also find the example of Ambarish Maharaj. The devotee may be very simple and very sincere and may face some reversals, like how Ambarish Maharaj faced through the curse of Durvasa Muni. And Krishna was still on the side of Ambarish. Ambarish Maharaj is a grihastha. Ambarish Maharaj has wives and children and money and palace and treasury. Durvasa Muni, on the other hand, is a Naishtik brahmachari sannyasi, very detached in this world. But Krishna is teaching us, I don't care about your attachment or your detachment. I care about your attachment to me. That's all that I care. If someone is very dearly attached to Krishna, they could be in any ashram, any varna, anywhere, and Krishna is on their side. Wherever such devotees call out, Krishna will come. On top of all these examples we mentioned is Yashoda Rani. So when she is churning and she is calling out to Krishna, why wouldn't Krishna come there? Krishna came from his room. He looked at Maya. Maya, you're busy churning. You should be busy offering your affection to me. Why do we need the butter when there is milk of your heart? Your affectionate motherly milk is all that I want. Krishna held the rod of Yashoda. She put the rod, the pot aside. Krishna climbed up on Yashoda Rani's lap. Mother Yashoda started feeding Krishna her milk. Krishna closed his eyes. Yashoda Rani closed her eyes. She was busy feeding Krishna. Krishna is busy getting fed by Mother Yashoda. She is feeding her affection through her milk, seeing the beautiful smiling face of Gopal. And Gopal is smiling in complete satisfaction. Maya, I left the ocean of milk for your affectionate milk. And this is the fulfillment, the satisfaction, the perfection of me appearing as Gopal. Now that we have this vision of Yashoda feeding Krishna and Krishna being fed, may this carry us from one Kartik to another. Let Krishna continue to drink milk and let Yashoda continue to feed him. May this be the final image with which we offer our obeisances to the Srimad Bhagavatam, the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam, which have nourished us for 35 days. My obeisances to Sri Shukdev Goswami and Maharaj Parikshit for the nectar that they gave us. My obeisances to all the wonderful acharyas that we previously named in our session, who have painstakingly written interpretations and wonderful nectar jewels, nectar pearls, nectar drops, nectar streams, should you say, for all of us. Our obeisances of gratitude to Srila Prabhupada for giving us access to this wonderful life of devotion, celebrating this life of devotion as an offering to Krishna, for giving us practical engagement in service, for giving us his books, for giving us his personal life as a testament that we can follow, as an example of surrender to his guru and unparalleled compassion for the whole world. Srila Prabhupada gifted Krishna to the world in multiple forms. The greatest donor in this world is not the one who gives anything material, but the one who gives Krishna. And Srila Prabhupada gave Krishna in charity in multiple forms, through Bhagavatam, through the deities, through the holy name, through Vaishnav culture, and such a wonderful example that he led. My obeisances to all the disciples of Srila Prabhupada, to all the wonderful Vaishnavas, all Sampradaya Vaishnavas, all institution Vaishnavas, wherever they may be practicing bhakti. My obeisances to the lotus feet of my Guru Maharaj, who very kindly pulled me out of the dustbin of this world and placed me at the lotus feet of Vaishnavas for some service. My obeisances to all of you for very kindly tolerating and putting up with me for so many days, day after day after day after day, for many hours in this month of Kartik. All of you made my Kartik Vrat and my Kartik practice very pleasing. It was little tiring on the body to continuously go on for 35 days, but trust me, my obeisances to everyone who joined and inspired and kept it going. I, on my own, ekaki amar nahi payable. If it was by myself, I don't have the taste to speak Krishna Katha to the four walls. But all of you kept your videos on, and I would be able to see devotees and your expression and your enthusiasm to write and learn and hear and appreciate and serve Krishna and remember him every single day. It certainly made me accountable to all of you. It inspired me to serve all of you. So thank you so much. I am saying this with all my heart. I will really miss all of you. Many of your names are memorized by now because I've been seeing your names on videos every single day. So also, I would like to say I did offer one lamp, Damodar lamp, yesterday, remembering everybody on the Zoom, um, praying that all the devotees who have been joining, whether on Zoom or on YouTube for these classes, Kṛṣṇa, if if there may be any credit in this Harikatha, may it be offered to all the Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis so that everybody finds more and more inspiration on the path of bhakti. Last but not the least, I would like to thank our Gauranga Darshan Prabhu for coming in every single day amidst his busy schedule and sharing such amazing, amazing insights at the end. My heartfelt gratitude to Jagannath Krishna Prabhu for every single day helping us in both classes, in the beginning and at the end. My gratitude to devotees who are taking care of the YouTube upload and all of these things. I don't know any of that. I'm technologically zero. I don't have any social media presence, or I don't know anything as far as social media is concerned. But there are uh, three devotees who have been very kindly assisting and working round the clock with videos and editing and thumbnails and titles. So my loads of gratitude to all the Vaishnavas who have been helping. By myself, it is very, very difficult. My obeisances to my superiors, Pradyumna Prabhu, Damodar Mata, are very dear to my heart. They are in their late 70s. They join us every single day from Baltimore, Maryland in America. And Prabhu and Mataji have led a life of devotion. They are very dear to my Guru Maharaj. When my Guru Maharaj would travel to America, they would serve him, and they are very dear to him, and he is very dear to them. So I am very, very happy to be able to offer some service to them. They are absolutely very dear to my heart, like my parents. So very, very, very grateful to Pradyumna Prabhu, Damodar Mata for joining in. Every word that I'm saying, I mean it so much. Eagerly waiting to see both of you very soon. My obeisances to my parents for giving me this opportunity to serve all of you. My heartfelt gratitude to my wife, who has been taking care of everything around. As I am this whole month of Kartik, I have been completely, uh, as much as possible, stuck to my chair, my table, uh, as much as possible, reading and trying to serve. But she has been taking care of everything. It will be very ungrateful of me if I don't credit her taking care of the home and prasadam and travels and everything back end she has been doing. So my heartfelt gratitude to her and to everyone who has been directly and indirectly part of this. I don't have anything except these broken, burnt words that I can offer. So please, all of you as my friends, you please kindly accept this. I am coming like Sudama with borrowed, begged, broken, unpolished, burnt, chipped rice of my words offering to all of you. But please, like Dwarkadish, please take it from me and bless me that I can continue to see all of you as much as I can. Thank you so much. Vancha kalpatrubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. My heartfelt obeisances to His Grace Amendra Prabhu for nourishing us for the last 5 weeks continuously, 35 days tirelessly yet effortlessly. He took us through these two beautiful chapters of Srimad Bhagavatam 10th canto, the 8th chapter and the 21st chapter. And my humble obeisances to every single devotee whom you have mentioned in the last 5 minutes, Prabhu. So, one amazing thing in your katha is the way you start the katha and the way you end the katha. I still remember on Dashara day last month, 35 days back, you began the katha offering obeisances to all the Vaishnava acharyas and your spiritual master and Srila Prabhupada and all the devotees around you. And now, just 5 minutes back, also ended your katha, thanking, expressing your humble, heartfelt, honest gratitude to all the devotees who made this happen. So it is that humility and it is that gratitude that makes our services very attractive to Krishna's heart. So you are not only a scholar, you are not only a expert orator, you are mainly a humble Vaishnav. That's what attracts our hearts to you, and we are so hooked on, glued to the screen as you are speaking Harikatha Prabhu. So I feel very, very fortunate to get an opportunity to hear your sessions since many years, but especially in this Kartik month, this has been very special for me. You prepared my consciousness for Govardhan Yatra and other holy places that I have visited. You prepared my consciousness to approach the Shastra during this month, and also the Sangha that the Zoom temple is offering. So many enthusiastic and eager devotees participating in your katha every day. So that's unimaginable. So I am very, very grateful to you, Prabhu. I don't have sufficient words. Actually, I'm speechless, but still, some things are coming out. If there is anything incoherent, please forgive me for that. And in today's session, thank you so much for revisiting all the beautiful lessons that we have covered throughout this 35 days katha. We just touched briefly on many of them. And the central theme of today's class is how to intensify our devotion, how not to waste our time, and giving us a caution note that life is very short. We need to use our time wisely. We need to purify our intentions in whatever devotional practices we are doing. So it's a glorious reminder, Prabhu, that we need to hear repeatedly to be to stay enthusiastic and determined on the path of bhakti. You began by saying how Nanda Maharaj and Gargamuni had mutual appreciation for each other. So that mutual etiquette and respect in Vaishnava circles makes the relationships very sweet, and those Vaishnava relationships will also please Krishna. Rupa Goswami, in his Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu prelude, he recognizes Sanatana Goswami as his spiritual master and offers obeisances to him. Sanatana Goswami, in his Brihad Bhagavatamrita, in that prelude, he recognizes Rupa Goswami as his spiritual master and offers obeisances. Now, who is Guru and who is disciple? Both are saying that he is my Guru. Both are claiming that I am his disciple. So that's the mutual respect and loving bonding that Rupa and Sanatan had, and many other Vaishnavas here. Whether it is Maitreya Muni speaking Bhagavatam to Vidura, or Vidura hearing Bhagavatam from Maitreya Muni, both had mutual respect for each other. Narada Muni speaking Bhagavatam to Yudhishthira Maharaj, but Narada Muni considers Yudhishthira a better devotee, while Yudhishthira is humbly sitting and listening. You are better devotee than us. So this mutual appreciation and love and affection, respect for each other in Vaishnava circles is what is pleasing to Krishna. It's not just our skills or talents to do some services or even expertly speak Harikatha. It is the humble heart that impresses Krishna. And throughout the class, Prabhu, you have reminded us to become serious in bhakti, to become sincere in bhakti, to not have any ulterior motives, to have pure intentions in approaching Krishna and doing whatever we are doing. So one who has it only can speak it so repeatedly. So thank you so much. My humble pranams to you for that. So to conclude, I just do, as you are speaking this katha, I recollected one shloka from the Mukundamala Stotra.
Please, please.
नाहं वन्दे तव चरणयोर्द्वन्द्वमद्वन्द्वहेतोः कुम्भीपाकं गुरुमपि हरेर्नारकं नापनेतुं रम्या रामा मृदुतनुलता नन्दनेनाभिरन्तुं भावे भावे हृदय भवने भावयेयं भवन्तम् नाहं वन्दे तव चरणयोर्द्वन्द्वम् अद्वन्द्वहेतु. O Lord, I am not offering obeisances to you or worshipping your lotus feet to be liberated from this material world. Kumbhipakam gurumapi hare narakam napanetum. I am not worshipping you to release myself from hellish sufferings. Ramya, Rama, Mrudu, Tanulata. I am not aspiring to associate with the opposite gender for some, external temporary enjoyment. Bhave bhave hridaya bhavane bhavayeyam bhavantam. O Lord, I am worshipping you. My only desire is, may I always remember you. May I always have this aspiration of serving your lotus feet. May I always have that intense bhava for you. So this is the pure desire of Mukundamala, our Kulashekara Alvar in Mukundamala Stotra, whether it is Kunti Maharani offering prayers, or Dhruva Maharaj, or Prahlad Maharaj, or Prithu Maharaj, or or any other pure devotee in the Bhagavatam. They want only selfless devotional service. Somehow, while practicing bhakti in 2025 in this material world, we are just carried away by so many unnecessary motivations and desires and distractions. But we need to hear Harikatha from sincere devotees like you to remind ourselves that we need to keep our intentions pure. We need to practice with sincerity. We should not have any ulterior motives. न कामयेनाथ तदप्यहं क्वचिन् न यत्र युष्मच्चरणाम्बुजासवः महत्तमान्तर्हृदयान्मुखच्युतो विधत्स्व कर्णायुतमेषमेवरः. Prithu Maharaj is saying, "O Lord, I don't want liberation. I don't want any benediction from you. All I want is Mahattamantar Hridayan Mukhachito." Mahattama means great devotees. Antar Hridayan, within their hearts, they carry so much love and affection for Krishna. And whenever they speak, that love is expressed through words. And Vidhatsva Karnayutameshamevaraha, I want hundreds and thousands of eyes, sorry, hundreds and thousands of ears to be able to hear that Harikatha coming from the mouths of pure devotees, which is just an expression of their emotion, of their pure love. So, by hearing your Katha, we just have a desire to hear Harikatha more and more and more and forever. Thank you so much for creating that desire. Thank you so much for reminding us that we need to keep our pure intentions. May Krishna bless you with long, long life, with good health, and with unlimited opportunities and eagerness and enthusiasm and determination to spread Harikatha
And your
uh,
continued
Rajana.
friendship.
Hare Krishna. And yes, Prabhu, one of my greatest accomplishments in life is to have very good, loving friends like you, and you're one of the, here, in fact, the topmost of all my devotee associates by Krishna's grace. Thank you so much for your loving friendship, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Gauranga Darshan Prabhu. You were very wonderfully saying about Prithu Maharaj, and it was almost like Saraswati Devi sat on your tongue. And she said that millions and millions of eyes, because when we hear Hari Katha, we see those leelas in the heart. So it is like mm, jigranti, it is like smelling, it is like seeing, it is like touching, all while hearing. So full blown experience of Harikatha. Thank you, Prabhu. We hope to see you soon, and um, our sincere, heartfelt prayers for your continued preaching, your travels, your book writing, and your services to Radha Vrindavan Bihari, to His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj, to Srila Prabhupada, and the Vaishnav community around the world. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Thank you,
Thank you so
everyone. Thank you, Jagannath
much.
Krishna Prabhu.